everyone, welcome back to my channel where I'm sharing stories from the imaginary world that I started when I was 9 years old and have been continuing now for over 20 years. So you can figure out how old I am if you want. My imaginary world is called Chutasia and it centres around my stuffed toy hedgehog Chutney, who I got when I was 9 years old. The way that I tend to work, if you want to call it work, is that I play with Chutney and then I get ideas telepathically passed from Chutney to me. She telepathically tells me things about the world that she's from, and then I write them down on my phone, and then I tell them to you. So sometimes they're a bit chaotic, but I think that's all part of the charm. I think Chutney likes the chaotic delivery. I think it's very Chutasian actually in style. So yeah. I'll just read sort of things from my note and we'll learn some new things about Chutasia today. So in Chutasia, there is a type of qualification that you can get if you're very good at cleaning and you want to start your career as a cleaner, which is actually quite a prestigious career in Chutasia, is it not? Yep. The Chutasians are actually quite a clean lot in general. And if you want to prove how good you are as a cleaner, you can take a qualification called the anti-baccalaureate. Very good, Chutney. All right, on to the next one. I have a note here that's a bit more on the serious side. If you've watched any of my other videos, you might know that there is an island in Chutasia which is called Noseton. And Noseton, of course, is famous for its prison. But before the prison was built, it was home to a tribe of very small hedgehogs. And I've actually shown you some of those very small hedgehogs in my video where I introduce all of my toys. And what I've got a note here is, so of course they couldn't just kind of get rid of that tribe from the island. Well, I don't know exactly how all of that happened, but basically the little hedgehogs were pushed off the island onto a neighbouring island called Hedgeclemming so that the sort of government and royals could build a prison there. But of course, there were rebels. They didn't want to just leave their homeland without a fight. But what I've got written here is during the interrogations of the Nosetonians, the interrogation slash sort of torture method was to leave an open jar of pickled gherkins in the same prison cell as the hedgehog being interrogated. The smell was so strong that even the sort of most committed rebel could only last but an hour before giving in. Do you really not? Hedgehogs really don't like the smell of pickles, I don't think. I don't like the smell of pickles either. I think maybe maybe there's something to that. Yes, exactly. I suppose this is still on the theme of the anti-baccalaureate. Any hedgehogs who have that qualification would surely know about this. In Chutasian hospitals, they care very much about trying to clean things, although they don't necessarily do it in the best ways. They like to soak everything in saline to clean it, including the food, which has created a strange sort of item on Chutasian menus, which is saline salad dressing. So they wash even the hospital food in saline to try to keep it clean. And I suppose that's led to the rise in saline salad dressing. It's a bit strange, Chutney, but you know, hedgehogs have different taste buds to me, I suppose. I've got here a note about in Chutasian markets and Chutasian. You're right, Chutney. She always looks a bit like, you know, she can't quite understand. She can't quite believe that I'm telling her stories on the internet. She's waited a long time for me to start, you know, giving her the fame and the attention that she deserves, right? Yeah, I saw it, Chutney. So in Chutasian villages, Chutasian markets, you can find something called an inconvenience store. And at the inconvenience store, you can buy inconveniences for other people. Normally, they're kind of like mild inconvenience, such as a slightly uncomfortable mattress or wobbly chair. And it's sort of tradition, or at least it's just sort of what the hedgehogs do is that when you would enter one of these inconvenience stores, the shopkeeper would greet you and say, "How may I be of inconvenience today?" Wow, that sounds like a fun place. Have you ever shopped at an inconvenience store? I have a feeling that Chutney has shopped at an inconvenience store. Yeah, I guess we'll find out about that in the future. There is a band in Chutasia who are called Cabbage. I think they're a rock band. They feel like a rock band. Cabbage, yeah. There's a band called Cabbage, and when they perform, they do a cabbage medley. This is, I don't know whether people will find that funny. There is a ready meal from M&S which is called cabbage medley, which is like a sort of prepared cabbage. And yeah, when Chutney saw the cabbage medley, she was like, aha, I have remembered. There is a rock band called Cabbage and they perform the cabbage medley. Yeah. I've got a note here. So a lot of these are really to do with food. And sort of food and illness, which I don't know if that's saying anything about my life right now. Perhaps it is, although I'm not ill. I've got here that if the hedgehog is suffering from a runny nose, they may go to their local pharmacy, and they may get some mayonnaise nasal spray. And apparently mayonnaise nasal spray is quite good for runny nose. I don't feel like personally trying it myself, but I suppose the Chutasian hedgehogs, they have I suppose you have a unique biology. And for some reason, mayonnaise seems to help clear up a runny nose. I guess it just blocks it. I guess it just blocks it. I don't know. Okay, the orange attunement ceremony. 1 year after Hedgehog's birth, the family of the hedgehog threw a ceremony where the baby is, well, it wouldn't be a baby, it'd be a hoglet. Is presented with 5 different types of orange. I presume these are different orange species. I wouldn't claim to know anything about sort of, is it horticulture? Is that the right word? No. But yes, so they're different sort of species of orange, if that's a thing. Is that a thing? Well, at least it's a thing in Chutasia. You have different species of orange. They care a lot about oranges. They love orange juice. Yay! And so yeah, on the first birthday of a hoglet, they have a ceremony where they present the hoglet 5 different types of orange and they feed them to the hoglet. And the hoglet, sort of the 1-year-old hoglet, somehow manages to indicate which orange was its favourite. And then there is some sort of fortune teller who can determine from your favourite orange the fortune and future of the child. And I believe that sometimes, like, quite serious, that was a strange noise I made, quite serious, you really want to touch my hair? Quite serious and important life choices can be made based off the orange that the hoglet selects as their favourite tasting orange. So yeah, that's the orange attunement ceremony. I think I like most oranges. I don't know what that would say about my future. I'd be interested, Chutney, did you have an orange attunement ceremony? Oh, she must have done. Or did you not, because there was the War of the Potato? Did they just give you potatoes instead? No, they gave you an orange. She's talking to me in my head. So you did the orange attunement ceremony. Ah, right. And what did the fortune? She doesn't want to share what the fortune teller said. That's interesting. I have to think about that. I wonder what the fortune teller said. Did you say something good, something bad? I don't know. She's not ready to share. That'll have to be in another episode. We'll try to get out of Chutney what was the outcome of her orange attunement ceremony, because we do know that, for example, Chutney was born under the light of a comet. I think I have covered that in other videos, I think. And the comet that she was born under, it has a cultural significance as kind of an indicator of like sort of historical momentous occasions are marked by this comet being in the sky. Some of the island traditions, it's like doom is indicated by the comet, and for some it's, you know, a great thing. But Chutney was born under the light of this comet, which is called, of course, the Vomit Comet, and Chutney was born under it. So we do know that she had quite an auspicious birth. But I don't know about her orange attunement ceremony. That'll be something for us to think about. Well, I have to have some pickles open to try to pickles open in the room, and then within an hour you'll surely tell me the outcome of the orange ceremony. Anyway, right, okay. Subscribe, comment, like, follow for more chaos. All right, see you soon. Bye bye.